But today I want to talk to you about things to consider when hiring an interior designer. So I have a long list of notes here, guys, so I want to make sure we cover everything. So one of the most important things I think about is, do you like this person? You're inviting this person into your home and you want them to help you and translate your needs and desires, and actually even translate things you haven't even thought of. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into somebody's home and I see an issue or problem that can be solved quite easily, and people just aren't aware of it and how to do it. So, but you got to make sure you like them, because they're going to be spending a lot of time with you, and they're going to influence, your home's future, so to speak. So, I suggest that you look at their past projects. Many designers, my website sadly is a little out of date, but I do have a lot of updated pictures on house. And also bring pictures to your design meeting of things you like, and don't see them as the gospel, but as a good guiding point. If you can bring things to the first meeting, it really helps your designer to figure out your direction and understand your style. So are they willing and capable and able of doing different styles? Not every designer is. There's some designers have a very specific look. If that's your look, that's great. But, and you'll see influences in all their design that has some similarities for them, but you want to make sure that that is something that's comfortable and is going to fit in with you, what you are looking for too. Let's see. Are they responsive when you call? This is super important. So if they, being busy is one thing, but do they return your call or email? Now, I personally try not to look at my emails on the weekends, but during the Monday through Friday, do they get back to you? Is their staff responsive? Are they pleasant? Are they easy to talk with? You want people to be friendly and appreciate your business. What type of services do they provide? Different designers focus on different elements. I personally am a boutique firm, so that means I have a broad range of services I offer. I work with remodeling jobs. I also work with refreshing window treatments, new furniture, painting, art, selecting art, and all that sort of thing. Some designers just prefer to do window treatments and soft goods. Some designers only do remodeling or new construction. So find out if their services fit your needs. What's the fee structure? Most designers, when it breaks down to, we're within about 10% of each other in terms of how our cost works. How they actually price it out varies from designer to designer, but in reality, we all work into pretty close. And then please don't ask about markup. We all, when you walk into Target, you don't ask how much they paid for a certain item. We have to cover our overhead, our staff, all those sorts of things. And we get different accounts. And, one account, we may get 2% off. It's not huge, or we may get more, but that's how we make our living. So, please respect that. So, on to page 2 here. And then, in light of that also, please don't shop us. We have years of expertise and experience, and we put that to work on your behalf. So please trust us and understand that we're going to do our best to create the best project for you within your budget and your style and your needs. So what's your price range? That can be a difficult question to answer, but if you ask the designer, for instance, how much is a sofa? And I would normally answer that, well, they can start at $2,000 and go up. There's some designers where you ask what's their budget to do a living room, and if they say $80,000 and your budget's $30,000, it's probably not the designer for you. I tend to work with a broad range of price points, but it varies from designer to designer. Some of them only want to do the higher end projects, so find out that. Ask if they have a letter of agreement or a scope of work. I always give my clients a scope of work. There's a lot of good information in there. I want to make sure that you receive it. I don't always remember to tell you everything, so it's good to have that for your review and for your records. And if somebody doesn't have a contract or scope of work, I'd be a little leery of working with them. Ask the designer when they can start. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't work with somebody who's busy, because that usually means they're good, but you want to have some sort of time frame and know whether it's going to fit into your time frame. And be realistic. Like with the holidays coming up, workrooms are very busy, so you may or may not get in time. Ordering your upholstery can take 8, 12, 14, 16 weeks, depending on which company you order it from. So just, give yourself time. And then, if you need a mini makeover in order, because the holidays are coming up, but you need the bigger stuff and it's not going to get in time, we can usually help you in some ways to make it look fresh and new for your holidays and finish it out afterwards. And then ask your designer, how are you going to see these items you're showing me? Personally, I put together a presentation that shows you photos of the furniture, and then I have all the fabrics on hand so you can touch and feel them. I think that's super important for you to see those things in person. And if you are buying upholstery, I tend to take you to a showroom and so that you can sit on pieces from that line. You don't have to necessarily sit on the pieces you're going to be buying, but I want you to see how the comfort, the cushion, the arm styles, that sort of thing in person. So that's how I personally work. And then I do buy things online, but I make sure we have the information we need for that. And then if you don't like something I'm showing you or your designer showing you, how do they react? Ask them about that. Personally, I feel it helps me to get close to understanding what you do like, so I'm not offended by that. Some designers want you to do just their style. So if they want you to do just their style, they're not going to be very flexible if you're not interested in what you show them. So find that out. Do you do space planning or furniture layout? Sometimes it's very easy and you can get away without doing it, but it is a very helpful tool and your designer should be able to offer that for you. So, are you able to incorporate my current furnishings? It's also a really good question. Now, sometimes, especially if somebody's moving from one home to another, incorporating the current furnishings is not possible just because of size constraints or the new style direction the client's taking. But usually we are able to work around some things. Sometimes you end up recovering something, painting something. I have a client who has a table she wants to work into her family room and we're going to repaint it. So that's a way to incorporate something you currently have. We're also going to be reupholstering some of her chairs and putting them in a whole different space. So you can incorporate these things, just you may not know ahead of time. So can I use my own tradespeople? I've spent a long time building up relationships with tradespeople, but I'm always welcome to new tradespeople because that's how I get new trades. But it depends on whether they're willing to work with designers. Some contractors are very willing to work with designers, but others are not. So as long as somebody is willing to work with a designer, I'm fine working with them. So that's another question to ask. And then also you might want to talk to the designers, tradespeople, because they've been working on this a long time and they already have a relationship and a style of working together. So it's a good idea to see if that's going to fit in with your scheme too. And another question to ask is, what's the worst problem you've ever run into and what happened? So if a designer can't answer that, they really either they haven't been in business or they're not telling you the truth, because we have all run into problems. It just, you're dealing with so many moving parts, so many different contractors and trades and interpretations that you are going to run into problems. I had, one of my big ones was I had a cast glass bar, and my client called me in a panic because the bar had actually exploded. Now, we were able to get her a new bar made from a whole different material. It was a metal. It's beautiful. She actually liked it better than the first one. But I can't tell you the panic that caused me when I thought of that exploding and somebody getting hurt. So things happen. It's just the nature of the business. You're dealing with a lot of different stuff, especially if you're doing remodeling. You tear out that wall and discover that, that electrical's not up to code. So things will happen, and we try and prepare you for that. But if a designer tells you they haven't had any problems, yeah, that's not true. Sorry. And then also things get discontinued or the manufacturer doesn't let you know. It's a matter of making sure that these items get communicated to you. So there is some suggestions for you on how to look at a designer. And this was Cathy with Blue Days Designs, your favorite red-headed designer, where our motto is don't be beige, be bold. So if we can help you with any of your design projects, please give us a call. Thanks a lot, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right, bye.